Helps if I turn the microphone on. Okay, I'm back. Got Conjurer up to 27. Denied, actually, all the way through Palace of the Dead, thinking, should I just switch back to Paladin and see exactly how far we get? But, nah, he ain't heavy. Method needs your help to find a missing comrade, so we are continuing on with the main scenario quests for 2.0, A Realm Reborn. And there are hundreds of these, so by cracking. Adventurer, Galen's gone missing. He's nowhere to be found. He shouldn't be walking about, not with those wounds. If he doesn't get the proper medicine and rest, his condition's like to deteriorate to where it was before, or worse. We need you to help us find him, and quickly. Start by asking Albreda. Might be as the woman's seen something. Finally! It's about time he came asking about Galen. I watched him leave Quarry Mill some time ago, and he left me this sealed letter before he went off. Made me swear not to open it until someone came asking. My brothers, I cannot bear to be a burden any longer. This is why I must leave you all. Do not worry for me. Just find your way safely to Little Alamigo. Blast it. Would that I know what he was thinking, I'd have stopped this folly myself. The love Galen bears for his brothers is so strong he's willing to sacrifice himself for them. Make no mistake, entering the wood in his weakened state is suicide. Out in the wilds alone? The fool! The great big sentimental fool! My men and I will scour the woods for Galen. Please help us find him before something terrible happens. It's not even going the right way. Because down here, there's nothing but nastiness. And level 45 mobs. Watch out! A goblin. Ooh, a goblin ambusher has ambushed us. Ooh. Wow, this thing's taking a beating. Mind you, our equipment is not exactly high level. Galleon! Captain, but why? You should all be on your way. Who do you take us for? We're Alamegans, and Alamegans never forsake one another. Hardships be damned. Remember the oath we swore, goddammit. The oath to reclaim our homeland. We'll set foot on Alamegan soil again, together or not at all. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Let's return to our brothers. I don't even think you'll get off lightly. As soon as you're healed, I'll give you such a thorough thrashing you'll wish we didn't find you. Oh. Can't thank you enough for saving Galen. I'll see you back at Quarry Mill. Foolish, foolish Alamegans. I might grab a little bit of extra gear while we're up here. Because this kit's really not very good. Galen's expected to make a full recovery. We'll linger here till he's strong enough to take it to the road again. As much as I mislike this place, beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, we'll get some gear anyway. Now that things are relatively settled, I seem to recall that you wanted something of me. You've proven a true friend of my people. Asking me anything and it's yours, so long as it's mine to give. The cooperation of the people of Little Alamigo, that's all. Far be it from me to question your desires, of course. Very well, I'll provide you with a letter to show Gundobald. The old bear was my mentor when I first joined the Resistance. He's intimidating to those who don't know him, but he takes care of his own. I've no doubt that he'll do all in his power to aid you. So, progress is made. There's a lot of quests that seem to be offering potions as rewards. So that's not really rewarding. Gundabald. Why have you returned? You are not welcome here. I thought I made that clear. You spoke with Mefrid? It's been so long since I last heard from him, I'd feared him dead. 'Twill be praised. Whoever you are, Mefrid sees you as a friend, and any friend of Mefrid is a friend of mine. I know of this masked stranger you seek, and will tell you what I can. Let's have those treasures. Ooh, mount speed in South Shroud increased. Just South Shroud. Interesting. I suppose that was the place that we've just been, and it's quite a big zone. Right. Gundabald is willing to share with you what he knows of the masked stranger, the bear in the young un's cares. An outsider resembling your masked stranger has reportedly been appearing near Little Alamigo of late. What's more, it seems that some of our young bloods are meeting him in secret. No doubt you'll want to question them about their trysts, but they are not like to yield the information readily to an outsider. If you tell them I sent you, though, they may well feel obliged to talk. Gundabald sent you? Listen, I told them it was a bad idea. All that tripe about believing the masked man and... oh, you don't know anything about this. Why didn't you say so to start with? You can't throw the old bear's name around like that and expect me not to think I'm in for it. Guilty conscience. A masked man? No idea what you're talking about. I ain't done nothing wrong, so leave me be. Also guilty conscience. If I remember correctly, they're up here. I do not remember correctly. At all. Ffxiv. What? Have I been meeting any masked men lately? Let's see. Nope, can't say I have. But I'll be sure to tell all my friends you're looking for him. There's a bunch been skulking about right suspicious like, but I've got nothing to do with them. I know trouble when I see it, and there's more, and then... and that there's trouble, mark my words. Tell me, Demajen, do you regret trying to put on voices and reading out all the dialogue for the... Dialogue? Jeez. For all these NPCs? Why, no, not at all. I've started, so I'll finish. Even if it's only till the end of 2.0. Because 2.1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, there's a lot more voice acting actually for those. But that's a lot of reading. So, you have indeed confirmed my suspicions about a masked man. That is most troubling. Whatever the young ones are scheming, it can lead to no good end. There's an anger inside them. I can see it in their eyes. I ought to know, for it once burned within me as well. 2 decades ago, that same anger drove me and my brothers to rise against the despot who ruled Alamigo. Naught would do but to depose him and usher in a revolution. Well, we got our revolution all right, but it cost us our freedom. Blinded by our hate, we didn't realise that we'd been dancing to the Empire's tune. By the time we did, it was too late. Alamigo had fallen. There are times when a man must be patient. Now is such a time, though the young ones know this not. Unless we intervene, they're likely to commit great folly. If you learn anything of their plans, I'd thank you to bring word to me. Ffxiv. Ffxiv has a secret message for you. Hey, adventurer, you done talking with the old bear? I've got a message for you from Wilward. Lad's something of a leader among the young ones here. He's impressed that you went over Gundabald and wants a word with you. Says he'll be waiting over at the craggy area north of here. I seem to recall that this is an ambush. Might be wrong. There's a lot of beasts out here. I am not beast enough to deal with the beast. Hello, Albin the Ashen. Level 50 hunt mob. Thanks for coming, friend. 'Tis no ordinary outsider who can gain the trust of the old bear. That's what I wanted to meet you, to discuss something in private. Tell me, why are you snooping about? Did the Empire send you, or someone else? Kill got your tongue? No matter. Whoever it is you work for, your meddling ends here. Get her! I was correct. You there, Alamigan youth. Go to sleep. Ha, sucker. Pow. Forward slap. Slash. Slap, even. You're stronger than you look. This changes nothing. Threaten us, bit us bloody all you like, but nothing short of death can make us give up our fight. We're going to obtain the power to bring down the Empire, and with it we'll reclaim our homeland. Not if it's the Asians you're dealing with. Though actually I seem to recall it isn't. I may be getting ahead of myself. The plot is blurry. Camelot. Gundabald. Attacked by Wilward and his cronies, did they would go to such lengths for the sake of this plan of theirs. Left to their own devices, the young fools are like to our mothers, if not themselves. We must uncover their agenda and put an end to this madness. Trying to up my gear level a bit, because I've got a lot of crappy gear on. Gundabald needs your help to rein in the young ones of Little Alamigo. Of course he does. Wilward mentioned obtaining the power to bring down the Empire. Of what power could he be speaking? Gundabald, But Liana, God's preserve, what happened? I was out foraging when the corpse brigade came. They took me to the hideout and they the whole while they laughed at me. They said that I suffer because I cling on to hope. Is it wrong to dream of home? Is it wrong to call ourselves Alamegans?
Do not heed such poisonous notions, child. Our dreams are what sustain us. Be strong. I swear to you, those villains will answer for their crimes in due time. But tell me, does anyone else know of this?
Wilbert, he saw me outside. He was so angry.
I must tend to Bertliana. In the meantime, I need you to find out what the young ones make of this. I fear that they may do something rash.
So she's been kidnapped and, well, it's implied that they've raped her or something along those lines. So now we're going to explore the camp and put together a little bit of evidence as to what the younglings are doing. Shockingly enough, it's nothing good. This youth is riled. If this plan succeeds, we'll have the power to lay the Empire low, to change the world for the better. Might be as Gundabald's content to eke out an existence in this musty old cave, but I'll be damned if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. Now, when there's anyone else did I put that bloody map? Oh, mighty Valga, Lord of Destruction, we implore you, lend us your strength and put an end to the suffering of your people. Huh. Here to interfere again? Well, you're too late. Our plan is already in motion. Once we have the crystals, our enemies will pay for their crimes and no one will dare oppress us ever again. Uh-oh. They're planning on doing something with crystals, and we know what kind of stuff that tends to create. He's got a knife. We've got a wild lass as well. What those animals did to Bertliana is unforgivable, and to think that they look down on us. Well, I'll suffer this humiliation no more. I'm with Wilbur to the bitter end. I'm not afraid of a few lizards. So it sounds like the plan, such as it is to raid the Beastman's stronghold of Zanrak, steal their crystals, and then use the crystals to invoke Valga? Or maybe to try and summon a primal? Either way, not a good plan. Gone? The whole lot of them? Then it's as I feared. They mean to take matters into their own hands. But what exactly is it they mean to do? What's this? A hunting knife? And a map of Zanrak? Wait. You said Wilbur spoke of crystals, didn't you? But they couldn't possibly mean to... By the gods, this is madness. The young fools are untrained and unblooded all. They've no notion of how dangerous the Amaldra are. They'll be butchered before they can get within 100 yards of the crystals. They're headed east. If we hurry, we might yet find them before it's too late. Ugh, it's hard to do a deep voice. Sabotenda. Right, so Big Trouble in Little Alamigo. Big Trouble in Little China, incidentally, is one of my favourite films. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Kurt Russell at his finest. Arguably that doesn't necessarily say much, but still. Ooh, this is an instance fight. Duty calls. Commence battle for Big Trouble in Little Alamigo. If your level is above 31, it will be synced.
Wilred, did no others survive?
This is all wrong. Getting the crystals was supposed to be the start. We were going to reclaim our homeland. We were...
Pull yourself together, lad.
We were going to make an offering of crystals to Ralga to summon him, just like the masked man taught us. Oh dear. We plotted to sneak into Zanrak and make off with the lizardman's cash, but they caught us and so many dead. Gods forgive me.
Heathens, you shall pay for your crimes with your souls.
I can't remember what voice I was doing for the Maldra.
I regret our young one's transgressions, but a soul is too high a price for youthful folly. For all their failings, they are the hope of the Alamegan people. This hope I will guard with my life.
It's time. Can I sleep this guy? I can. And I'll just wake you up again. Oh. Says the hypocrite who's just woken up. This time though, I can heal people.
The whelps must pay for their crimes.
Oh no, they've bought a battle drake. Ooh no. Strapping lad. I find it interesting that in all these little scenario fights, I should probably kill myself at some point, the NPCs have got different names. I assume it's because they count as different creatures, I suppose, for the sake of the code. Must be nice to have infinite MP. No, don't die, strapping lad. Come on, Lava Fang. Die already. You all deed. Duty complete. Pum 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 pum.
Your skill at arms is impressive, adventurer. A wayward youths could learn much from a woman like you. The battle is won, but it would be unwise to leave you here. Let us return to Little Alamigo.
Well, wait, we've come all this way. We have to get the crystals. They're right there, ripe for the picking.
Have you learned nothing, Wilred? Did you not see those tempered wretches? Oh, bulls.
What? No one said anything about it. The masterman told us we could defeat the Empire if we summoned Ralga. He swore.
Enough. I wish to hear the rest of this sorry tale back in Little Alamigo. I dare say Demajen will wish to hear it as well.
Damn, that's annoying her. I think that was Gundabald telling Wilwood that that gods or primals, that's what will happen. That they will become tempered because that's what creatures summoned with the crystals do. But annoyingly, I skipped it. I really must turn off the auto advance thing actually. It's great for the voiced cutscenes, but awkward for the text ones.
No more lies, Wilwood. Tell us everything.
I was outside with the others when he appeared, the masked stranger. He told us about summoning Ralga, about using crystals, and then just vanished. We never saw him again. I wanted so desperately to believe that we could raise ourselves from this squalor that I never stopped to question his motives. But I should have known. There's no solution, nothing we can do to change our lot. Our people are doomed to live and die like beasts. Nah. Give it an expansion and a half and you'll be free. Spoiler, sorry.
Listen to me, Wilwood. Our home may be lost to us, but it takes more than stones and mortar to define who we are. No matter where we may be, Alamigo lives on within us all. It is for you to decide what to make of this legacy. But whatever you choose to do with your life, never forget that you owe it to this adventurer, an outsider.
Oh, I think we meet Wilwood again. I won't, I promise. Thank you for saving me and sorry I tried to kill you.
My thanks as well, friend. It gives us hope to know that there are kind souls such as you out there. Little Alamigo may not have much in the way of comfort, but you will always be welcome here.
Bum bum. Oh, randomly, a load of peace. I'm marching through. That's very strange. Got nothing for level 28? No. Kraken's having a fit. Right, back to square one. Weirdly enough, gives us some food. Gundabald wants to wish you well on your investigation.
Would that we had more information to offer, but what Wilwood told you is the extent of our knowledge on the masked stranger. Left unchecked, that man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you'll find and put a swift end to the creature, for the sake of the young ones who died by his poisoned words.
And that means we're going all the way back to Minfilia. But it does mean that we're closing in on the level 28 dungeon. Sploosh. Let's do it. Wonder what happened to the NPC that used to ooh, give us entrance. Cutscene or no? Oh yes. Welcome back, Demajen. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and Little Alamigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Habrea? Planted the knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say? Precisely the kind of deception the Assassins would employ. Well, many of the ills that all the land can be attributed to the calamity, that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity. Some are being brought about by a malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this while things remain quiet on the primal front. All work, no play, make me fill you a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, my lady. Ahem. Maybe we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. Still 27. Terror at Fallgood. While you were attending to business in Thanalan, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends the Sylphs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in that self-same area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12 willing will pick up La Habrea's trail once more. Noraxia can furnish you with the details. Speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there. So La Habrea is getting around. Clive. Sell some tat. Repair agate. Ooh, Sylph voice. Walking One is to investigate Sinister One. Then heed well this one's words. This one is friend with the Walking One in the Ash Crown Consortium. According to Friendly One, a digging one named Medrod had an encounter with a scary masked one. This masked one is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Medrod. Digging One is to be found at Fallgood Floats in the North Shroud. Where, handily, we've already been. Ooh, Arenveld. He's in the Stormblood story as well. We didn't really spend much time here, did we? We kind of nipped through. Right, this is Medrod and Nadine. But please move me be. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. It's only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. You wanted words with Medrod? Well, as you can see, that might be tricky. He's been this way near a fortnight. If you need him to make sense in a hurry, it might be as I can give you some advice. Though he looks a man grown, Medrod's still a little boy on the inside. You might try feeding him a serving of lentils and chestnuts. His mother's that's why we got that. His mother's speciality. Stuff should be easy enough to find in Gridania. Oh, and a few soothing words wouldn't go astray either. Nothing like Mummy's cooking and her expert ministrations for skin ears, as it were. It was horrible. A waking nightmare. Cannot unsee. Oh God, what have I done to deserve this? Mummy! That's why we got the lentils and chestnuts. It's a good job I didn't sell it. You found it. This is my favourite dish in the whole world. Mom made this for me whenever I felt glum. It never failed to make me forget my... Wait a minute. You're trying to make me tell you about that, aren't you? Nope, too horrible. You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was heading back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man, garbed head to toe in black. He got a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman. One glimpse was enough to tell me she'd died a gruesome death. In that instance, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim a soul for his realm. What? You're investigating this same masked man? If that's the case... Oh, if that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can. Aye. Anything to ensure we won't have to suffer Medred's hysteria over again. All right, teamwork. That's what I wanted to... Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? Anyway, I'm all for helping this adventurer. It's the least I can do to repay her for bringing me lentils and chestnuts. Bum, ba-dum, bum. And on to the 28 quests. This is so ridiculous. I seem to recall I mentioned this yesterday. This is indeed ridiculous. So, here's what I know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin known as Ziz could inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing their finger at them. I somehow doubt that the answer's that simple, but for the sake of the thoroughness we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 6 of the creatures and see if you can find any proof connecting them to the deaths. So, we are going to go and kill some Ziz. This is so ridiculous. This quest title is so ridiculous. Ooh. Down here. Ooh, actually, are they down here or are they up? No, they are down here. And we'll be able to kill this one as soon as he leashes. That's one. Killing all the Ziz. Ooh. Not stunning in that though. Wow, plus 600% experience points. That's the chain bonus kicking in. $620. Oh, of course, because we're under level 30, aren't we? That's why we're getting the full whack. $640. This is up above us. XP chains are weird. They're very much a kind of hangover from Final Fantasy XI when they were the primary method of levelling. Yeah, I like the idea of them. They're just not very useful in this game because there's so little XP grinding. Although, that being said, I do suppose it adds up in dungeons, doesn't it? When you're doing them at a level, or even if you're not. This is so ridiculous. That will never stop being funny. You've already seen to the Ziz? Good work, adventurer. So, were you able to find out to suggest that the creatures are our culprits? Nothing. Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. Ooh. There's something else I heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been attractive women. I'd better watch myself, eh? Ahem. And silly jokes aside, there's a rumour been going around. There's someone's whispered that after each victim died, her rancor went into the great big rock southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you have to throw it. Once you turn the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments and I'll give them a look. Oh, have we not done this yet? Yeah, so this allows us to target things. Some items are used on areas rather than single targets. Click on the item in the duty list, or you can use the item straight from your inventory. Seeing eye to winged eye. Either world has information to share regarding your investigation. There's something you should know. I've been keeping this to myself lest I worsen Mildred's paranoia, but I too have seen the winged eyeball. Cannot say whether it was coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Mildred's. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked in a gaze with the giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. We do, of course, have a mind to investigate. Clay golem. We shall ignore you. Right. Okay, so this is the area. Pow. Pick up these crystals. We need 5 of them. Lightning aspected. I have a feeling. Do we get attacked while this is going on, or do we just pick them up? So far, so good. Was off. Go. Oh, no. Okay. We also want to go and he's going to grow. Yeah. And him. Running away on a chocobo. Oh. We're gonna want you to go to sleep. I have a feeling this is a bad idea actually, because I think the winged-eyed thing spawns. Oh no, it's a bane mind. Something spawned. Ouch. What level do I get cure to? 30? Jeez, I didn't realise it was that late. This... It is what it is. Might as well do this fight while we're here. Actually, it's getting late, and that bar is not travelling very fast, so right. A monstrous bane might appeared, and you slew it? That creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Fulgard. Intentional or no, you've done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder. Was it truly a winged eyeball I saw? Or merely a trick of the light combined with blind panic? We'll take that just in case we get a rogue to go with it. Most folks are too scared to go within 100 yards of the Rock of Vanker. Aye, it has a name, but what's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? Huh? Well, these are just your garden variety crystals. It's a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh well. Well, you guys are rubbish. Medred is troubled by the lack of new developments. There have been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that the killer's still at large. Judging by your furrowed brows, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. I have been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt. It was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's implausible that I could have mistaken so distinct a creature for a banemite. But you and I were miles apart. How could we have both seen it at precisely the same time? What's more, our adventure friend here had a run-in with a banemite at the very spot you claimed to see that fiendish eyeball. Isn't that right? There must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. Ooh, he's serious. But listen, maybe it's not as mysterious as we make it out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be... Gods, of course. There must be more than one of the buggers. Ugh, it's so obvious. But then that means, since there have been repeated sightings of these fiends, then there must be even more victims as yet undiscovered. Ooh. I do believe we're out of our depth. We ought to leave the rest to the experts. Yes, we're just civilians after all. Good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. Well, I burn to know the truth. Some things are best left unknown, lest you have forgotten. It was at the rocky area to the west that I had my encounter. Should you discover aught of note, you will want to alert the authorities. There's a guardhouse nearby. Ooh, it's gone dark outside. The serpents there should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. I'm assuming night has just fallen in game. Yes. Sunset. Okay, so on our way to power of deduction. It is what it is. It's still going. Who let this banemite in here? Goes off, banemite. Oh. Entertainingly, I still got gold contribution for that fight. Search for a maiden's corpse. Oh, Square, you do give me the most delightful of quests. There is, of course, a mangled corpse here. And wait, what's this? An Araman. Kraken. Yeah, I think the reason why I like this this particular section of the quest line so much is because it's nicely written and it's really creepy. And there's just something a little bit sickening about it in that good writing style of way. Present the ravaged corpse to Ethelmire. Greetings, adventurer. Is there aught I can assist you with? The body of this poor soul has been defiled in more ways than one. Gods be good, not again. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot seem to get used to the horrid sight. Poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the central shroud. While the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any, sightings of the winged eyeball are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end, none can say. The victims have all been young women. All are found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's been difficult to identify them so as to notify the next of... This button, engraved with a lily motif. The very same object was found upon another victim. A family sigil? Or that of an organisation, perhaps? Either way, I dare to hope that this find will prove pivotal in solving the murders. Proof. Evidence, rather. Mount speed in the North Shroud has been increased. Brilliant. I would have you hold on to the lily button. You'll need it to continue your investigation. While it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals, you've proven yourself reliable and resourceful in this matter. I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on your work. If I might make a suggestion, you might wish to take the button to Gridania and have it examined by Mother Mune. Perhaps someone in her vast network of contacts can shed light upon its sigil. Perhaps it can. And of course, it does. Oh man, my gear is rubbish. There's a dungeon coming up in like 2 quests time. 1 quest time. Good evening to you, Demajen. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for scones and herb tea. Well, isn't this a lovely little button? The engraving is quite exquisite. Artisan level quality, I'd say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body? Lovely. Anyway, I'm afraid I don't recognise the lily sigil. You have to find the answer the old-fashioned way by asking around. You could do worse than beginning with Bernadette over by the Aetheryte Plaza. She's a sharp pair of eyes, that one. And actually, while we're at the Aetheryte Plaza, we might need to go and buy a little bit of equipment. Need help tracking down the Hanover button? That's still not a request I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on then, show me what you've got. Huh. Seems to be some manner of decorative button, reminiscent of those worn by the families of old, though I can't claim to know its sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the white lily is a recurring theme in Gridanian architecture, culture. Alas, I don't know who would make a personal sigil of it. If there's a soul in Gridania who does, it'd be Singulid. Singulid? Who knows? Over at the Lancers Guild. The woman makes a point of knowing all of the citizens on a forename basis. Right, Leatherworkers Guild first, just to pick up a couple of choice pieces of gear. No. Yes. No. Wrong way. Battlecraft supplier. Right. 20 to 29. Level 29 wand. Level 28. That. Right. Now we wanted... If we buy one of those... Right, that's 3, 4, 5. No, that's actually still better. Balls. Well, in that case we can sell that and sell that back. Won't get the full price, obviously. Anywhere near the full price. Now we should be able to get some new gloves, which are a chunk better. The belt is certainly better. Tights we've already got. And the boots are better. They will probably make us look delightful. Bum, bum. Let's get one ring. Okay. Not great, but basically all we can afford. Oh, we can now go on quick ventures. But we can't send her out anything because we've got no ventures. Right, let's take a run to the north. Towards Singulet first. Bernadette believes that I can help you? Well, that is a rather bold assumption to make. I will try to assist you, never fear, but whether anything comes of it is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Fascinating. Work of this quality is rarely seen in the hands of ordinary Gridanians. The owner of this button is most certainly well to do. You may wish to take a search to the Gentry's ward, northwest of here. Wait! A memory comes to me. Of late there's been a man who's perpetually seated at the bench by the ward's entrance. His name is Ursendale, and I distinctly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon the breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. Just going to go and unlock this first of all. This is the sightseeing log quest, I believe, which has little vistas that you can go and unlock for XP. One of the Iron Hearts. Pardon? I don't believe we've met. You something of mine, you say? My journal! Thank the 12. In my haste to escape the clutches of that insufferable mutton-monger, it slipped my mind entirely. Might I be spoiled as to ask your name? You have my gratitude. It may not look like much, but I count this humble diary among my most prized possessions. Its pages brim with tales of the most heart-stirring sights to be seen in our realm, as told to me by the sensitive souls I've met in my travels across Eorzea. Tales that have struck me with a most incurable case of wanderlust. As an adventurer, you too have seen her at the realm, I'm sure. But I'd ask you, have you truly seen her? borne witness to Eorzea and her myriads of splendour? Have you stood on the palm-fringed beaches of Costa del Sol just as the sun peeks out over the horizon, its rays kissing the sands beneath your feet? Have you lost yourself in the night sky of the Segoli, adrift amidst a boundless sea of stars? Ah, but why do I even try to convey with words that which must be seen to be appreciated? To our fortune, whithersoever we wander, Eorzea's beauty is but a stone's throw away. If I may quote from my journal, yes, this is the one. Afore the fane, beneath the two that are as one, her divine cup runneth over with light ethereal. Such were the conjurer's words, and I would see as she saw. I saw for myself before coming here, and I can assure you the conjurer spoke true. Indulge me. Go there and look out upon the beauty before you. I would hear your thoughts. So this sends us down to the Conjurer's Guild. I'd actually forgotten that there's a little bit of walking involved in this. Never mind. Do, 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 do. Ba, ba. Yes, so we need to stand here, I think. You have looked upon one of Eorzea's stirring vistas, as identified by the explorer Millith Ironheart. Return to Apkulu Falls and report your sightings. So that's basically how vistas work. You find an area and you do an emote. It's usually, well, it's often /lookout, but it can sometimes be things like pray or kneel or sit or whatever. And you get a some XP for it, and you get a little tick mark in the logbook that we are about to go and receive. Welcome back. I trust you were as moved by the sight as I was. The great stone that adorns the entrance to Stillglade Fane is none other than the sky serpent's egg cast down from the heavens by Nofika the matron so long ago. And those mammoth tree trunks? Remnants, no doubt, of a primeval forest. Whence did they come? Why did the two great arbours grow as one? This I don't know, but what I do know is that the realm is replete with such beauty, if only we know where to look. This is what compels me to wonder, not the promise of power, glory or riches, but a burning desire to bear witness to all the wonders around us, as wrought by gods and men alike. Though we've just met, the twinkle in your eye tells me that we share certain aesthetic sensitivities. It would be my pleasure to gift you with a sightseeing log of your own. In its pages you will find my record of the most stirring sights in the realm, both those I've seen with my own eyes, and those I have, thus far at least, only heard of in my travels. No doubt your adventures keep you occupied, but is this not all the more reason to take in the sights as you travel, that both body and mind might enjoy a moment's respite from time to time? And who can say? Perhaps you'll discover glorious new vistas that have eluded even me. With that, I wish you safe travels. When you have seen all there is to see, pray return to me. I'd like nothing more than to share impressions with a fellow sensitive soul. Ba, ba. You now have access to the sightseeing log, a compendium of the most beautiful sights to be seen in Eorzea, as compiled by Millith. From the snippets of information contained within, identify and seek out the locations described. Note that certain sites may only be properly appreciated at a given time of day or under ideal weather conditions. Perform the designated emote while taking the sites, and the entry for the corresponding vista will be marked off. And this says basically the same thing. Time of day and weather. were very important in the first version of the sightseeing log, but Square Enix realised that it was a tad annoying for most people and a bit of a waste of time, so they changed it for Heaven's Ward and above. This is Jonathas. He is the master of the roles. Basically, he's the achievement vendor, and certain achievements will give you rewards, and he's where you go to pick them up. Anyway, let's go and speak to Ursendil. He's a lovely, doddering old man, but he's got a little bit of the weight of the world on his shoulders. I do not believe we are acquainted. Pray, leave me to my thoughts. The sigil of the D'Artancourt family. How is it that you came to be in possession of this button? From the body of a murdered woman. Her face, was it marred in any way? I had feared as much. I can no longer feign ignorance. I shall reveal to you the truth of the deaths, but on one condition. You promise to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torments. Skeletons in her closet. Yes, so this is this quest is to do with mental illness, basically, and it's quite a, in some ways, a very sad tale. Which I shall reveal. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the D'Artancourt. During that time I had the honour of waiting upon Lady Amandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kind of fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her to regain that which she had lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was, but when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare that I had witnessed. So it was that I left Hawk Manor, my home for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavoured to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Hawk Manor on the western edge of the central shroud. Go, now. Go and do what must be done. Ooh, he's a bit buggy. So yeah, a bit of a sad tale in a way, but also bit of a warning, I suppose. You know, Lady Amandine was beautiful, kind, well loved, well respected, but clearly vain, and that vanity was both her undoing in the wake of the calamity, which obviously destroyed a large portion of the area, disfigured her face, and by the sound of it, caused a mental break. You know, she went crazy, she sequestered herself away, she wouldn't see people, and yeah, it sent her mad to the extent that she fell in with some suspicious masked men, possibly Asians, and yeah, they've gone through some terrible, nasty rituals to make her beautiful again. Now, Hawk Manor is over here, and it is rather attractive. It's also surrounded by lots of floating eyes. Obviously, the idea of a haunted house is not a new one in stories, fantasy literature or otherwise. But I do quite like the reasoning for this one, and let's be honest, that's a pretty darn impressive place. The stained glass window at the front is really nice. And actually, once we get inside, the stained glass window is projected down onto the stairs, and it's very, very nice indeed. Ah, the smith is still here. Oh good, we can get rid of him. Okay. So we interact with the manor gate. And we can break in. And we can now go to Hawk Manor, which we shall do so in a moment when I've stretched my legs. Right. Legs stretched. Been for a bathroom break as well. So, let us delve into Hawk Manor. Don't know what the duty finder queue timer is going to be like. Less than 5 minutes, it says. Boarded up cellar down there. Strange, creepy hand-like bushes. I took some inspiration from Hawk Manor when I was writing Rivers of Ink. The mansion in that particular novella is based very loosely on the kind of general layout of Hawk Manor. The inside, however, is a little bit different. Lots of heads on spikes. Pleasant stuff, because, you know, I write lovely pleasant stuff. But yeah, I did nab the I nabbed the dungeon map to base the general design on. Running away. Doo-doo. There's a fate up here. Ugh. Stropers. No thanks. This is the one with the little ghosties, which are down here. While we wait for a tank. Interestingly enough, according to this wiki page, there isn't actually a single level 29 story quest. Spoopy house. I love Hawk Manor. There's the bottom of that stained glass window. And there's the really cool lighting effect on there. I assume that was that guy asking for protect. Right, I think this is our first. Yeah, it is, isn't it? This is our first main story quest dungeon as a healer. In many ways, arguably, I'm a better healer than I'm a tank. Not by a whole lot, though, to be fair. have the feeling actually that Cure 2 you get from a job quest, which we're not going to have. So that'll be fun. We get to do the whole dungeon with Cure 1. Which is fine, it's doable. So yes, this particular room seems to be some kind of workroom. All of the rooms in Hawk Manor are very large. That's kind of a sitting room style area. Need to go into the first room to pick up the key. You'll often find that the responsibility of picking up items like keys falls to the healer, because they get slightly more downtime. The tank can't do it because the tank's always getting hit. Sometimes you'll see some of the DPS do it, which is dumb, because of course they could be killing enemies quicker. Yeah, you come around there, through here, into this door. There's another of those succubi maidservants. That dark mist ability will petrify everybody. Another key. Oh, somebody's already picked that up. You can't ignore a lot of these side rooms. Oh, right, this is going to be fun. Yeah, Cure 2 is definitely a job quest. That's kind of annoying because I actually haven't been done the level 15 one yet. This guy is taking a lot of damage. This could be mitigated by the Black Mage using sleep, but they don't tend to do that. Fortunately, I'm pretty decent at this, so it's fine. And to be fair, you can't really go wrong with spamming Cure. There's another maid servant there. There are 3 of them that you need to worry about. Might as well use some food. First boss, the man of Claviger. A Claviger is somebody who looks after keys. Yes, I went to look that up. So this is the Red Hall. It seems to be some kind of dance hall or something like that. It seems to have like carpet of some variety, and dance halls don't tend to have carpets, so who knows. But either way, there's a lot of space at the sides with people to sit down and watch whatever's going on in the centre. It's a huge room as well. So whatever the Delacour family was doing here was sizable. Once she's dead, she drops the green key, and these doors open up, which take us back into the entrance hall. No, that's a dragoon. Don't need those. So the green key opens the ivy door, and this will take us down into the cellar. He's going the shortcut way. You can skip that one pack of trash up there. Although, if you're not careful, you can accidentally pull them while you're picking up the key, which kind of defeats the point. Also, if you are a mage or something like that and you're dotting things up, it's a good idea if you're tab targeting to face this way so you don't accidentally tab target and pull some of those with arrow or something like that. Because that's embarrassing. Know that from personal experience. Another door here which we need a key for. Need to fight another boss for that though. There is some loot behind these doors. It's not really worth going out of your way for. It's slightly better than potions though, like it is in the very early dungeons. On the off chance, I'll pick up both of these keys. One key. Two keys. Don't really need them. We need at least one, but we have four. You can ignore that trash in the room there. Stick arrow on everything. It's not the most exciting AoE rotation for Conjure at this level. It gets better later on. If you can, you do want to be trying to weave some damage in. This idea that healers should just stand around and do nothing if they've got nothing to heal it's a waste. It slows everything down. Can't see the point. Good work. I'll grab the other key. I really like the effect and animation for Cure. Much more actually than I like the Scholar stuff. Scholar being my healing main throughout most of the game. Anyway, we've got the key. What was it? The yellow key, which obviously opens the yellow door. And this is our second boss. We've got the Mana Jester and we've got the Mana Steward. You want to kill the Jester first? Generally speaking, I mean, you don't have to. You can kill whichever one you want, but I've pretty much always killed the Jester first. He's squishier. Right, there goes the Jester. Jester's dead. No prizes if you know where that comes from. You'll notice that there is a lot of creepy shit in this basement. There are guillotines. This is not so much a basement as a dungeon. There's a rack. There's whatever this is. Double guillotine. All in all, not a pleasant place. Now, from here, you want to be casting return. What a lot of people don't realise is that if you return in dungeons, it takes you to the start of the dungeon. Because we want to be using that parchment on this sealed barrier up here. And this will confront us with the Mana Sentry, who's the main eye. You only need to get him to 50%. And then he will run off and open the door for you. Just like that. He used to bug out all the time. And he'll fly over to the bed and wake up Lady Amandine. Who is clearly off her rocker. Couple of things to note about Lady Amandine. When she casts Void Thunder 3, you can actually run through her and cancel the cast. Unless they've changed it. But you used to be able to. I suppose I could be helping out with the lance. don't think I'm quite in range of... No, I'm not. And then some friends come. The Mana Sentry will cast Stone Skin. Ooh, don't stun that. Ow. It looks a bit hectic. But it's not actually that bad. That was a good use of caster limit break. And Amadine is going down. And ooh, and there we go. She's finally put to rest. Thanks everyone. Right, what do we got? A shield. Cool. No, can't commend anyone because they've all left. You'll notice the glow has left the room. So yes, this is Lady Amandine's bedchamber. It's quite a few things that are chained up. There's actually a hard mode version of this dungeon where some of the places, like this corridor for example, you can get down. There's also some enemies down there which we can't kill on our own. But yeah, that's Hawk Manor. I really like it. It's one of my favourite dungeons. But yeah, it's got kind of a Great Expectations, Lady Havisham, Miss Havisham vibe to it, which I really like. Darkness has taken root within these halls, sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. Hold on, there's more than one of them. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. Yeah, you'll notice that these guys have got full masks on, so they are not actual Ascians, they are followers. Well, they are Ascians, but they're not like super duper powerful ones. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength the light is drawn. Hydaelyn chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength from Master La Habrea. That task now accomplished, we take our leave of you. Fare you well, bringer of light. So, there we go. More info on the Ascians. La Habrea is testing us. Lancer's Guild is the quickest way to get there. And then I should probably go and do the level 30 stuff for Conjurer. Where am I going? Where am I going? This way. Because as soon as we get the level 30 stuff done, then we can become a white mage. And again, same rules applies for Paladin. It's better for dungeons. It's better overall. Ursendale. You are returned. What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amandine? You must tell me all. So, she went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I had done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked man you encountered are the same. Sorry, the masked men that you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore. Through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. You can't help but feel sorry for him, really. Right, we need to report back to Minfilia for this. Next step. And we know where we get to go for that. So instead, we are going to go to the Conjurer's Guild. In fact, since it is 4:20, I suspect where I should actually go is bed. Let's grab this next quest anyway. I don't know how far through these I am. 15, yeah. Right, I'm not going to do these quests on stream. In fact, I'm not going to do them now at all. I'm going to go to bed. I shall do these probably tomorrow, and then I will catch up with the actual story when we go and hand skeletons in her closet in. For now, I'm going to go and pose in front of this delightfully pretty thing and say good night. Bye.